Hey guys, Kiwi here. In this video, I'll be breaking down and discussing the big character death for the Season 9 mid-season finale, The Walking Dead, Season 9, Episode 8, Evolution. With that being said, major warning and spoilers for everything in the show up to Episode 908, and let's jump right into this. So, holy crap, final warning, Jesus actually just died on The Walking Dead. What the hell? I just can't believe it, but it's actually true. While watching the final moments of the episode, I was just waiting for him to get up and start acting in pain, but I guess that he actually died right there on the spot. I thought maybe he just got stabbed through the shoulder, but he was actually stabbed through the heart.
Jesus! Come on! Where you do not belong.
Now they just pulled a Deus Ex Machina with Michonne and Magna coming in to save the day, so I wouldn't have put it past them to do the classic cop-out, it's okay, I was only hit in the shoulder solution, but no, that Whisper actually just fatally stabbed Jesus out of nowhere. I was still in denial until the episode ended, but then I saw the promo for the next episode with a funeral at the hilltop, so it's actually real? Sure enough, his actor was also on Talking Dead discussing it, so it's sadly the truth. Now, there were actually spoilery rumors about him possibly dying during the past few episodes, but I just didn't want to believe that either. I thought that was completely ridiculous. People were saying that his death would happen in episode 906 and 907 as well, but that it wasn't confirmed at first, so it was just a rumor, and I just decided to kind of put it to the side because it just seemed so random and out of place. But then just the past weekend of the mid-season finale, literally everyone started talking about Jesus dying, so I was beginning to worry a bit. I try to not look at spoilers, and I'd appreciate it if you guys don't post them in the comments, as the entire time I was wondering if it was true or not, and then when it happened, I was just in complete denial, and honestly I just wanted to roll my eyes at it. I was more disappointed than anything, so much so that I feel like the disappointment overrode any shock that I could have really had, and the episode was fine, I guess, but it did feel a bit underwhelming, especially when you take out the Jesus death from the equation, because other than Jesus's death obviously being a big moment as it's a huge character death, there wasn't really anything too crazy this episode, so maybe that's why they added in the Jesus death. And okay, yeah, we have the true Whisper reveal as we get the fight against them, along with the reveal that they use masks, but that all came hand in hand with the Jesus death, and I was just too busy feeling disappointed and confused that he actually just died. This just felt so out of place. We didn't need another death, it just felt so unnecessary. I'm sure that they could have figured out a way to create a scary mid-season finale to show us that the Whispers mean business without randomly killing off Jesus, right? Did they seriously think that we'd maybe take the Whispers as a joke if no one died in this episode? Or did they just kill off Jesus to have something big happen in the mid-season finale? Did The Walking Dead season structure really just actually force Jesus to have an early death? We all know that it's pretty much become a meme at this point that the season premiere, the mid-season finale, the mid-season premiere, and the season finale are all huge episodes filled with action, climax, and cliffhangers, but at this point, that structure of having episodes 1, 8, 9, and 16 always big episodes has hindered the show more than it's really helped it. And that's kind of BS if their structure forced them to create this death, because I'm kind of surprised that they'd even do that after the way that they've handled this season. They've kind of branched off this season. They didn't do Rick's final episode as a premiere or finale or anything. They randomly had it as episode 5. Having huge moments happen on random episodes is bigger than always expecting shit to go down 4 times a season, because it's more genuine to the story and natural to the experience as a viewer, such as the Glenn dumpster moment. Even though that was a fake out, the original, thank you episode was episode 3 of the season. It's not like it was the premiere or the mid-season finale, it just kind of came out of nowhere and it was crazy. Let me know why you guys think Jesus was killed off down below, and if you think that the finale and premiere structure forced it to happen before it should have. On Talking Dead, the actor who plays Jesus, Tom Payne, says that if his death fits the story and the situation, then it's fine, but in my opinion, it doesn't do any of that. And okay, okay, yeah, so Tom Paine actually does have a pretty solid reason as to why Jesus was hit with such a surprise attack, but still, I feel like he's just kind of cutting his losses and trying to stay positive about it. Even Chris Hardwick said that he had such a great attitude about it all. And I mean, he really did. He seemed like surprisingly okay with it, almost as if he's maybe been waiting to get the phone call for a few seasons now, so he didn't really seem that surprised about it, but he explains the reasoning for the Jesus death pretty straightforward, and when you consider it, I suppose it does make sense as to why he was caught off guard and murdered. Now, back in the day, Jesus was always someone who would go out on runs alone, scouting out for the Hilltop. So after becoming the leader of the Hilltop and being stuck inside the Barrington house for 6 years made him pretty anxious and antsy. Jesus never wanted to become the leader of the Hilltop. I'm sure he could have taken over Gregory's spot long before he ever met Maggie if he wanted to. He just never really wanted to do that. He wanted to be the guy who would go out alone and scout out and do that sort of thing. So he really felt locked up at the Hilltop for so long being the leader over the 6 years that he just wanted to go out and feel a little adrenaline for once. He would sneak out and meet up with Aaron and practice fighting with him, but that was barely cutting it. Here, Jesus felt confident enough to hold back the zombies on his own while his friends secured safety, and he was definitely showing off a little bit. So due to the showboating that he was doing, along with the fact that he was just trying to have a little fun, it ended up letting his guard down as something he could have never predicted happened. A zombie, or what he thought was a zombie, actually dodged his attack and countered him, and as a matter of fact, is that the same zombie whisper that we saw at the beginning of the episode? Because if so, that's definitely some eerie foreshadowing how Jesus stared at him earlier in the episode and then he ends up dying from him. I guess that the death of Jesus just goes to show that if you ever let your guard down for just a moment, it can mean the death of you. That's a pretty cliche lesson to learn, but it's good to be confident, but being overconfident makes you sloppy and prone to mistakes. But you know, bottom line, I feel like they just simply didn't need to kill off Jesus so soon. After Carl, Morgan, Rick, and Maggie all leaving the show for one reason or another, we really needed Jesus as a character from the Hilltop to take that main lead alongside Aaron from Alexandria. I just feel like it had so much more potential and it feels like a shame. The reasoning as to why he died makes sense along with the way that he let his guard down, but if they had to kill him off, I would have preferred if they would have waited until partway through the back half of season 9, as that would have been less predictable and this just felt way too soon. If the rest of season 9 is actually focusing on the whispers like they say, they could have given Jesus another death scene in a situation like 4 or 5 episodes from now. He would have had more time with Aaron on screen, he could have ironed out everything at the Hilltop even more so than he already did with Tara, and he could have had more badass combat moments during season 9, but I guess we don't always get what we want. Now, if you were to create this episode with the mindset going into it that it's Jesus' last episode, I get why they'd give him all these tributes towards his character, but that still doesn't really excuse the fact that his character was killed off far too soon. That's just kind of accepting it, cutting your losses, and doing the best with what you can. Now, I do appreciate with what they did with the character's send-off and all, but regardless, it just felt unnatural and unneeded when it happened. Now, as far as paying respects to his character during his final moments, they definitely did what they set out to do. They not only gave Jesus a flashy final battle in a foggy cemetery as he goes out acting like a hero, they also paid mad respects to Jesus' comic book counterpart in many ways as well. Besides the fact that comic book Jesus was where his intense fighting skills originated from, while going out to search for Eugene, Jesus looks exactly like his comic book counterpart after the time skip, and I was really looking forward to seeing more of that. I guess we're not. Now, with Aaron as comic book Rick and Jesus taking on his post-time skip comic book appearance, they really seem to be shaping up the characters to look like the comics, but now it only seems like they do that when they're trying to pay tribute to what we saw in the comics and never really got on the show. Anyways, they did what they could with Jesus during episodes 906 to 908, but I still was left feeling like I wanted more. Let me know what you guys think of this shocking death down below, but that's pretty much it for the video, guys. I'd appreciate a like on the video if you've enjoyed anything I've said today, as it really helps me out more than you can imagine. Feel free to subscribe for more Walking Dead content in the near future. I have so many video topics to talk about during the mid-season break, it's gonna go by in the blink of an eye, so be sure to check back on the channel soon. Also follow me on Twitter too, link to both of those in the description. I'm fairly active on Twitter even when I'm not posting videos, and I'm always retweeting everything I can involving the Walking Dead universe. But anyways guys, as always, I thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out!